consultant and as well the Secretary General of Umoja Summit Party recently just declared. He'll be telling us about that. We equally are expecting former Mwingi Central, that is Member of Parliament Joe Mutambu, to grace the set tonight. And of course, they tell us what they make of this. Daktari is already here. Thank you so much for creating time.
Pleased to be here.
After a very long time, I get to host you again.
Yes, you disappeared from Morning Cafe.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Freddie Ndimuli is doing a good job.
Yes,
and I appreciate that you're always here to support
I
us.
Follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while, I also make my way here.
And we're happy.
It's my privilege.
Yes, yes, yes. You constantly continue to support TV47, which we appreciate, and as well articulate the concerns of the people of Kenya. Before we get a hold of that is Mutambu Joe, I think I want us to just jog our brains as to the stories that we have carried. Unfortunate stories. I think we're coming back to the era where you look at the newspaper, bad stories, negative stories, and all that. And this, you know, in relation to politics, and we get worried for a moment. So I'm looking at my rundown, and the first story is Ruto defends church donations. Of course, after we have also gotten to see that, you know, the youth went out, that is to protest against the 20 million that the president accorded to Jesus Winner. As if it wasn't enough, the president proceeds to accord some more, you know, some church in Eldoret. And I see another story where Raila faces hostile reception, that is after the handshake, abducted Wajir MCA in hospital. Another story, Bomas is sold out by Gachagua. Another story and another story and another story. The only maybe positive story that we carry tonight as to the country is Nairobi River restoration. What do you make of this?
First, Linda, it's not the stories, it's not the media. Mm-hmm. The stories are reflections of the happenings. Chinua Achebe tells us very famously that the story lives on after the event. Mm. The actors, those who have been involved, have done what they have done and they've moved on, but the story remains. Yeah. And when you look at the media, I like reminding both my students mm-hmm. and the political class especially, the media just mirrors what you are doing. Mm. You just need to look at the kinds of names that some of the media outlets have taken. You look at a name like the Mirror. Mm. There are papers that are called the Daily Mirror or the Review. Mm. The Review just revisits what has happened. The Tribune, the Herald, the Standard, mm-hmm. the Nation, they just tell you what is happening as it is. Mm. And we usually say that if you look in the mirror and you don't like the face, maybe the face is dirty. If it's dirty, you clean it. Mm-hmm. If it is ugly, you just accept it. Maybe there isn't much you can do about it, yeah. Although there's also plastic surgery, you could do something.
Which is very expensive, eh?
Do something about mm-hmm. it. But these stories speak to an insensitive class of leaders, people who are not awake to the realities mm-hmm. of the environment in which they are supposed to be leading. Mm-hmm. And it's not for the first time in world history that we are seeing this kind of insensitivity. It's the sort of insensitivity that comes before a fall. Mm. Mm-hmm. I've got the responsibility as an elder in this country to tell the political class as a student of history, mm-hmm. and I know that many of them don't love history. His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Ruto, mm-hmm. is on record as having said many times that he has no time for history. He has even said that history should be underfunded in institutions of learning. And it is because people like himself do not take lessons from history. Mm-hmm. This is how Ferdinand Marcos and Imelda Marcos were behaving in the Philippines before the high moment in 1986. Mm-hmm. This is how Nicolae Ceausescu and his family were behaving in Romania before whatever happened, the headwinds that they ran into, they swept them away. This is how Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette were behaving. They are insensitive.
We see
Things
President,
are happening. Signs are there. The writing is on the wall, but the president does not understand.
He's playing along with history, or perhaps pretty much what they say, that history repeats itself, and we get to see him do exactly what has played out in the past. And by saying this, I'm sure you have seen the numerous photos, flying along across the social media, where the Right Honorable Raila Odinga is with President Moi, is with President or the former President
Kibaki, President Uhuru, and now President William Ruto.
Yeah.
That's in fact where I beg to disagree with you when you call the covenant, the so-called covenant that they entered the other day as historic.
Okay.
There's nothing historic about it.
All right.
Things that are historic are things that are rare, things that have never happened before. Epochal things, trend setters. What Mr. Odinga did the other day was only to be expected. That is the pattern, that 2 years into the new regime, you see him signing up with President Daniel Arap Moi in 1999, after the 1997 elections. First, it was styled as cooperation, and some of the people within his then National Development Party did not agree. The late Honorable Peter Olo Waringo used a Luo idiom, which my mouth refuses to repeat on account of having been very ugly, very odoriferous, if I would say. And there were others who didn't agree. But in the long run, they got in, and then it became a merger. And in March 2002, we were talking of something that they called the new KANU. Then, of course, we know what happened in 2008, and we know what happened in 2018 on the 9th of March. It would appear that March is the month
of handshakes.
But if it is March, he should also remember the soothsayer who tells Julius Caesar, beware the Ides of March.
All right, and speaking of that, I am almost about to question, when did you become a pessimist? Last time I checked, we remain positive, and that you do not see anything positive that is going to come out of this arrangement such that it's going to make history. We'll be coming to that, and my director reminds me, we'll be coming to that. I know you as an optimist.
Your terminological interpretation this evening,
I do not know you as a pessimist.
Is questionable.
We'll be coming to that.
So
you will respond to that and tell me why you argue that way.
Deal with that. I'm just a realist.
You're a realist.
And,
okay. Yes, my director reminds me that it's a good story to see that the Wajir MCA is back home, but then he comes back in bad shape. And what is worse is that there are claims that the abduction might have been conducted by government. Certainly not good news. Allow us to take a short break, and then we loop in, of course, or better yet, carry the sports stories, and then we come back with Honorable Mutambo, who I'm told is already in the building.